Good, who's just joined our commentary box. Andy, what have you seen into the games today? What do you think of the action so far?
Well, a massive surprise there for Samurai to lose and get knocked out, but fair play to the Kings boys. Really took it to the Fijian Samurai team, and now for me we've got the tournament favourites tradition.
And kicking off, Pyrenees in position here, but being held up, so Samurai have 2-note position, so they're clearing it wide. Okay, O'Donnell to O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell happy to confront and using his gas down the outside. The touch judge has got his arm up because he dropped his flag, and Declan O'Donnell into touch. Quick taken, throw taken, but with the confusion that reigns, the referee wisely saying we'll establish the mark and go from here.
Yeah, Declan O'Donnell tiptoeing down the touchline there, just stepped on the white line.
Yeah, good piece of skill, and touch judge got so excited the flag came from his grasp, but putting his hand up wasn't enough. The referee didn't notice that. Good efficient line out take from the Pyrenees boys, and a good drive. Committing defenders. Aggressive in the tackle, YCAC. They see it as an opportunity to turn the ball over. Line's pretty good, but little break here from the Pyrenees. Pyrenees got numbers wide. Can they move it? Oh, a little dink through there from number 3, who looks like he's wearing his traditional jersey. Oh, unfortunately, a bit too much weight on the kick there from Baptiste Lescabora, and he's kicked it dead, which means YCAC will have the option of a scrum back where he kicked it.
Yeah, lovely kick though from the tight head prop, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Thomas
brilliant.
Burnett.
Yeah,
you don't often see that in the game of 15s or 7s, tight head props kicking
you
it.
saw a little twinkle in his eye as he did it too. It was like, didn't see a lot of chase after the kick though. He sort of, my job is done here.
I think that's how I played, just kick it and watch everyone else go after it. But yes, Pyrenees team are physical, aren't they?
And YCAC trying to match that physicality, and they're seeing every tackle as a potential turnover, so they know they're the ones that'll score if they're in possession. So Warwick Lemaire to feed the scrum here. A little unsteady. 2 packs sizing each other up. Some fairly good size in the front row there with Sonny Talmafa, YCAC. He's looking to dominate his opponent. Format for big guys to use their power here, because they can beast someone for a couple of minutes, then get off and have a rest and come back and do it all over again. So defense strong there. YCAC still in control of the ball. Okay. Pass. Good handoff, but driven to the ground. YCAC showing good patience here. They've got position, they know that's important. O'Donnell seeing the big man in front of him, looking at an opportunity to manipulate the front rower.
Yeah, Pyrenees are physical in defence, aren't they? Working really hard, forcing tradition to kick. It's a good kick as well.
Kick, and they've got the bounce. That was the bounce that you ordered from Amazon on the mail order. And Declan O'Donnell showing his gas. And first time in this tournament, I think we've really seen him open up. And, well, gosh, you've got to feel sorry for the Pyrenees here, because they created great pressure, forced an awkward kick from Sherwin Stowers cross field, but the bounce of the ball just undid the Pyrenees defender, and the ball ends up in Declan's hands, and he's away.
He's a finisher, isn't he, Declan O'Donnell?
Yeah.
He got a bit of luck with the bounce. What happens on this 4G pitch here? Just popped up nicely for them. And then gets the offload away, and he's got the gas to get down the outside.
Yeah, you've got a feeling it's going to pop up, but you're never sure it's going to pop up for you or the other guy. So, yeah, Declan O'Donnell happy to take a wee break there after that run. But, yeah, good for the crowds to see a flyer going into the corner like that, and take it round under the post. And very close to the touchline again, as he was before, but this time managed to stay away from the chalk.
Yeah, quality finish for a quality operator that's got a lot of 7s experience as well, hasn't he?
Solid reception from Pyrenees. Shooting Stow is straying up in a huge offside position, but been forced to get back on side now. Pyrenees look as though they want to use the maul as a tactic, but it's not working for them here. Ball's on the ground, contested. Unfortunately, one of the Pyrenees players used his hands on the ground there.
Yeah, once the ruck's formed, no hands in the ruck. You just saw one of the Pyrenees boys off his feet, just tapping the ball back as tradition counter-rucked.
And again, the Pyrenees seem to have control of a good maul they'd established there, but just taking it a little too far possibly, and allowing the YCAC to turn over the possession.
And again now kicking to the corner, perfect field position for them. Talmaffer out in the back line as well. Only one place this is going, off the top straight to him.
Yeah,
he's running the short line, isn't he?
See, and you think he'll be using the swerve or the sidestep this time?
He'll probably use whatever he wants. It's going to be hard to stop, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fairly direct run. Although, you know, YCAC, they could use him as the ultimate decoy here. Colin O'Donnell, and again the threat of Talmaffer in the back line there, drawing defenders and opening the gap. Stow switches the play cleverly to the other side. Just pulled down short of the goal line. Going wide and very easy sprint into the goal line there from Angus Gibbons.
Composure shown there from tradition, going through a couple of phases. Little outside break from O'Donnell. Used Talmaffer as a decoy. He sucked in a couple of defenders, then they hold on to the ball, find the space back down that short side. Good finish.
Yeah, and you know, YCAC is showing a good tactical appreciation of the game, using their players wisely, and you know, creating some confusion in the defence and profiting from it. It almost looks like, is it Angus Gibbons coming to the sideline after that huge 3-metre sprint to the goal line? He's emptied the tank.
He certainly has.
Yeah.
Take the try, take the rest. Tradition in a good spot here, in complete control, you know, now.
To be honest, he saw Declan O'Donnell go over in the corner there after running 50 metres down the sideline, so he thought, why not take a risk myself? A restart, nice high restart from O'Donnell. Ball taken cleanly. Reserve bench from Pyrenees wondering whether their player may have been taken in the air. Good strong run up the middle here from Roman Burros. Quickly over the ball but losing his feet. YCAC referee's playing advantage here. Regression the breakdown, but yes, I think the YCAC player just getting onto the ball but losing his feet and continuing to play the ball there. Roman Burros quickly taking the kick ball, finding good touch down the sideline there, 6 to 7 metres from the corner.
Great kick into the corner there, really good kick. Looking at that now, the Pyrenees had a bit of a drive earlier on, didn't they? Sure, this will go straight up the jumper and look to drive again.
Right. They've been rehearsing this drive, so might even see some of the backs joining here.
If you've not taken it out, then it must be.
Strong defence from YCAC though, they were more fractured, I think. A little bit of white line fever there. They didn't set the maul as well as they had. The first player to receive it thought, I'm going to have a crack here. And,
yeah, it was actually really good defensive play from YCAC, just standing off the maul actually, so that guy has to break out on his own, so they don't get done for crossing. Off the back of that, they get the knock on, the turnover. Intelligent play there, just understanding that Pyrenees are definitely coming with a drive. And they get a chance to clear their lines with just under 50 seconds to go till half time.
Yeah, I think there's a few wise heads in the YCAC side here that are making good decisions and communicating well. 12-0 YCAC up over the Pyrenees. The Pyrenees will be wanting to try and beast this scrum and turn over possession and get it one score before half-time whistle sounds. Strong scrum, all over the place. Seems to have done a full 360. YCAC still in possession. Several crawling motions there, and I think one too many for the referee. So yeah, I think you get the chance to roll once or call a little bit, but he extended it too far.
Yeah, we're back as we were now with the line out 5 or so metres out. Can the Pyrenees put this ball together again?
Do they have a second option if the YCS don't commit to the drive? See Lucas Tilo well wide on the left-hand side. If they can clear the ball there, he's in open space. Oh, we see the ball fumbled in the attempt to score the try. And the referee blows for half-time. Tradition YCAC ahead 12-0 at half-time.
The Pyrenees had a couple of opportunities towards the end of the half, didn't they? Their line-out drive, just not the accuracy to score a try from it. So YCAC in control.
Yeah, they did well to create the opportunities there. They won possession. They gained penalties, kicked well to the corner, and set up, what must have been in their game plan at the beginning of the day, one of their preferred methods of scoring, but not able to execute.
Yeah, two knock-ons at crucial times. And it just changes the focus at half-time, because YCAC, had they conceded there, would be having very different words, and you can see the French coach laying down the law to his Pyrenees team.
Yes, and 12 down at half-time. The Kerr Club Pyrenees possibly have to chase the game a bit, which, in a funny sort of way, that opens up more opportunities for YCAC. They'll take chances and take risks that they haven't been doing in the first half. So, a tight game loosens up and gaps appear, opportunities arise.
Yeah, and then we've got players like Declan O'Donnell out there. They'll capitalise on mistakes, look for matchups in defence as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of him since that try scored early in the first half. So you assume he's well rested. He's got another injection in the tank, ready to bust the line. Interesting, a guy with his pace. He's also very comfortable confronting the line, and he's got a nice hip and spin. He's almost got a full frontal sort of chest bump where he draws the defender in and tries to push him off. So he's not just a fragile winger. He doesn't mind confronting, and he's got multiple threats.
Yeah, he's a strong boy, really explosive from a standing start. Obviously, we've seen him open his legs down the touchline earlier for the try. A load of attributes that any player would want, really. He's big, strong, quick, powerful, good footwork, good fend as well. He's got that ability to get the ball out of tackle with and a decent offloading game.
So we see the bench going off. Big man Sonny Tamaf is off for the moment. So YCAC probably going with pace and wanting to cover the field here. Thinking the game might open up a bit here. It's have the weapons on the field to take advantage of that. It'll be Ramamba Ross for Kerr Club Pyrenees to kick off. Nice high restart. Taken well in the air by Willie Frodfree. We've seen the teams happy to kick. Club Pyrenees in possession, but not terribly organised, you'd have to say. They're very narrow, they're bunched, indicating they might be wanting to punch this up the middle again, as has been their way. Quick tap taken, not releasing in the tackle. Pyrenees in the middle. And now stretching it wide. Opportunity on the outside, and we'll see number 14, Tim Gires, streaking away. He's a metre from the line. Ball's there to be turned over. Can they get it across? And yes, the Pyrenees have started this half well. They're not lying down to this challenge from YCAC. Going in 7 metres in from the sideline. And the try scorer, who gets himself painfully off the deck. No, not yet. So he appears to have injured himself in the process of scoring that. The try scorer was number 11, Lucas Tilo. Looks to be the piece of paper comes out, he'll be leaving the field.
The ideal start to this half, wasn't it? Just got the quick tap penalty, then found the overlap down the edge.
Yeah, and they made the most of the first penalty. They got possession, quick tap, and they're taking the game to YCAC. They're not sitting back. They're not intimidated by the reputation of this perennial semi-finalist in the GFI Football Club 10s.
Game on, isn't it? Unfortunately, he's missed the conversion, but one-score ball game, and there we go.
Shocker. In
Coach
the
killer.
urgency, that man was a good 3 meters in front of the kick. Yeah, it was almost as if like Tiger Woods pulling out his backswing, the kicker should have just hung onto the ball then and said, whoa back there, boys. This ain't working.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to attack here now for YCAC. Split field scrum, both sides to attack from, and a man like Declan O'Donnell on that far right hand side there. Sure, he'll be looking to get to the outside, make that half break.
It's interesting, he plays in the inside back position, but knowing that the outside man will commit the last two defenders and will possibly get the break on the outside, so there's no point in just standing the gas on the outside. You've got to manipulate the defence. Very messy scrum. The referee comes back and gives the feed again to YCAC. GFI Pyrenees obviously thinking this is, with the big men off the field, this is a place where we can disrupt.
The French bench in front of us here, the Pyrenees bench, weren't happy. They felt that should have been a penalty to them, not a reset. Bit of a wry smile there. They just want to get the ball in Declan O'Donnell's hands.
Put it in when the elbows are on the ground there. Again, messy. And the pressure from the Kerr Club Pyrenees scrum pays off. They've won the ball. They've got a penalty. We should see them kick to touch here. Interesting that the penalty was on halfway. By the time he kicked it, he was a good 2 or 3 meters beyond halfway. Oh, good skills shown there on the touchline by Fletcher Matthews, but his boot was just barely touching the chalk. The referee's assistant right on hand to see it. Liberties like that taken all the time by kickers, you know about that. You get awarded the penalty, stand firmly on the spot, and then walk 5 meters before you kick the ball.
And take a deep breath. Opportunity here for the drive again, isn't it, for the Pyrenees? Bit of a messy line out.
In position, strong ball. It's gone back according to the referee, it falls loose. YCAC contesting over the ball there. Not happy they were awarded the penalty. And continues. Again, pressure at the breakdown. Referee wants the ball's gone backwards and forwards. Tackling is strong from YCAC. Pyrenees continue to rumble it around the edges. Oh. Attempted steal by YCAC there. And to be honest, it looked like a valid attack on the ball. Knock on. So
the penalty is going for the earlier infringement. Not rolling away from the tackle.
So Pyrenees, you'd imagine they take a scrum here. It seems to be their comfort zone. Okay, it wasn't long. We've seen the big boys wheeled back out. Sani Taumafa, in response to the struggles that YCAC are having at scrum time, have brought on their weapon. A few extra kilos there should stabilise the YCAC scrum.
Yeah, it's gone backwards the last few, hasn't it? So, real crucial scrum for them now. 5 meters out, blindside to attack down as well.
The YCAC are holding man on that blindside. Ken O'Donnell's over there, leaving 4 on 3 for the Pyrenees to the left-hand side, and they're trying to exploit that. Halfback has a dab. Julien Berger. And he's being held up very effectively by the YCAC players here. They form the maul. If this doesn't get into the end goal area, it will be turnover possession. Very, very smart defence again from YCAC. Yet the small man, the halfback Julien Berger, having a dab but being confronted by the bigger guys, and allowing to keep his knees off the ground, so the tackle was never affected. Became a maul, and by holding him up and keeping the maul out of the end goal area, YCAC have won feed to the scrum.
Yeah, Stevens did really well from breaking out from that scrum. As you said, the little scrum half. Vivian Berger just made the break and then
exposed there with their extra man sitting on the blind side of ICAC, so they covered it well. So again, they'll be well served by scrum stability here. 3 minutes to go in this game. 7 minutes through this half. We've had one try by the Care Club Pyrenees. And still in the balance though. 12 to 5. Dummy run down the blind side by Callum O'Donnell, but maybe if he'd had the ball, there was an opportunity there. Oh, good chase and strong tackle out wide there from Fletcher Matthews. Referee spotted a knock on, and YCAC with their 7-point lead up 12-5 will be far more comfortable in this neck of the woods rather than hard on defence on their own goal line. Yeah,
tactically spot on there. Warwick Lammett with the clearance kick, good chase. Sometimes it's not just about scoring tries, it's about field position, trying to exert pressure on the opposition, and they certainly did that with a clearance kick and their follow-up chase. Really good play from Tradition. They'll be looking to get the
Care Club Pyrenees going to the bench here. 2 or 3 changes. Maybe sensing the game's going to open up and speed up a bit. They've wheeled off some of the big guys.
Don't forget your opportunity to drive away on a brand new goal line tonight. You think you've got the boot on. Keep your fingers crossed. It could be you. Nice little black wagon over here. Stand by for instruction.
Again, Care Club Pyrenees creating a lot of pressure there, but not able to win the feed in the eyes of the referee.
Yeah, I'm not sure they agree with it either. A bit of frustration out there from the French team, just asking for a bit of clarification. They felt gone through 90, which meant that they got the turnover, but ultimately as the clock ticks down into the final minute, Tradition looking to keep hold of possession as well. Just run that clock down and see themselves through to the semi-final.
And scrum collapsing, and referees lost patience, so it's a free kick to Care Club Pyrenees. They move it wide. Hasn't been their option of choice earlier in the game. Tackles affected, so YCAC sit back and span. Patience is needed in defence here. Oh. Declan O'Donnell rushes up the fence, creates an opportunity. And ball goes to the touch. And strong defence, very good defence there from Declan O'Donnell, seeing the opportunity to force the Care Club Pyrenees player into touch. And trying to take an advantage of an opportunity there, but it's always a risk when you push down tight on the sideline like that. It effectively gives the defending team an extra player. Sideline is a friend in defence, not an attack.
They're just trying to force the play a bit, weren't they, as well, the offload. Yeah. They know their last play of the game now, they've got to get someone up in this line out to try and compete and win it. Otherwise we're looking at game over.
Yeah, so clock stopped, but we've seen teams kick the touch when the clock's been up on the board and the referees have disagreed with it. So wisely, YCAC are reluctant to kick it into touch. Strong running here from Declan O'Donnell, pumping the legs in the tackle, driving through 2 and 3 attempted tackles, and back on his feet to act as halfback. He's doing well. Oh, nice wide ball to Fletcher Matthews, driving down the wing, dragging the defence across. Should open up some space in the middle now. Ball in Declan O'Donnell's hands again. Again, happy to confront 2, 3 players. Tackle might need to roll away. Okay, too many bodies in there, says the referee. We're going to scrum. YCAC ball. And we've seen time up on the clock for a good minute, but the referee feels there's time for a scrum, so you cannot go by the scoreboard clock because they don't stop that for injuries and stoppage time. Smart play by YCAC. Kind
of tough on the players, really, isn't it? And Pyrenees boys will think that it's It's the last opportunity.
Well, you have to imagine it's close to the end of the game now. The time's been up on the clock. The running clock shows 11 minutes and 51 seconds of a 10-minute half. So the man feeds the scrum. Good clear position. They may have had the signal from the referee this time, and Phil O'Donnell clears it well into touch, over the stand and onto the horse racing track here at Happy Valley to see Tradition YCAC win 12-5 over Kirk Club Pyrenees. A gallant effort, you'd have to say, Andy, by the Pyrenees boys.
Yeah, definitely. They scrum well. They were really physical in defence at times. Just got undone by a kick early on in that first half. The bounce of the ball, that led to Declan O'Donnell's try. They didn't have the accuracy when they were down in the 22. They had a few line-outs, didn't they, that they could have taken on, but
tactical game there too. I mean, Kirk Club Pyrenees knew exactly what their strengths were, the way they wanted to play the game, and how they were going to manage the game. And you know, YCAC, I think, you know, they did well, and they made some very good decisions that were critical in that game. So, but again, a very tight contest.
yes, there have been some tight games, haven't there? Some really good games. Quality rugby. YCAC looked like one of the teams that could go on and lift the trophy.
Yeah. So our next match up here on the main pitch, the Hong Kong Football Club, and the 2018 GFI Hong Kong Football Club 10s is the Turkish Airlines Penguins playing the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys. Now the Penguins a long-standing, high-performing team in this tournament. You'd have to say based on past form and maybe yesterday's form, the Overseas Old Boys would be the outsiders in this contest, but anything can happen.
Yeah, we've seen that already, haven't we, with the Samurai getting knocked out. Penguins are one of the big favourites.
And, you know, I guess the Penguins would have seen that happen to Samurai, and it's, you know, in a tournament situation like this, you're aware of what's going on, you're aware of what's happening to the other teams, and in some ways it's easy to learn by other people's mistakes than make them yourself. So we might see some urgency here from the Penguins rather than complacency. Good high kick-off. Strong tackle there on the Overseas Old Boys midfield player. Just in behind the goal line, clear the ball to halfway. So Josh Walden from the Penguins brings it back to his supporting players. Met with a strong wall of defence from the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys. Taken through by James Little. Big storming dummy run there from Uatangi Lee. He's got the size to drag in defenders. So Old Boys defence stays composed, intact. And Little through the middle again. Potential here if they can clear the ball quickly. Good patience being shown by the Penguins here. Oh, a little bit of a sloppy offload there from Facundo Garrido. Carrying the ball in one hand, he was always committed to that, and yeah, the tackle from Overseas Old Boys just dislodged it and saw the ball go forward.
Yeah, the Penguins boys looking to offload out the tackle, keeping the ball alive a lot. To change that point of contact, really hard to then get your defensive line back intact. Fortunately with it, you've got to have accuracy, and a little knock-on came there. Chance for the Old Boys to clear their lines.
Solid scrum from both teams. Okay, and Lewis Orman watches the ball go into touch. A very good clearance from the Overseas Old Boys. Clearing the ball well into the Penguins half. Turkish Airlines Penguins. Easing their way back to the line-out, regathering their breath, keeping the composure. There doesn't seem much in this contest at the moment.
Yeah, interesting tactically, they're just seeing the Old Boys just want to clear their lines. They know they don't need to be under pressure in their own 22. Conserving a bit of energy, trying to put pressure on the Penguins to run out their own half too.
Yeah, I think that's some of the learning we've seen by Trent Renata here, exploiting the fact that there was no sweeper back. putting pressure on, affecting the tackle. Deep in the referee ruling that Renata didn't clearly release the tackle. I think he actually done a good job of waving the arms and showing the release there, but referee disagreeing. But, good vision by Renata there. Yeah, lovely banana kick, taking play well into the Penguins' half.
Yeah, cracking bit of skill there. You saw kicking the outside, follows the shape of a banana. Didn't waste any meterage either, did he?
And it was from within 2 or 3 metres of the touchline, so it wasn't an easy angle here to work with. These old boys just clearly showing they're not intimidated by the reputation of the Penguins here. Oh, I think delivering that ball may have been a good option, but staying in position and working well up the field is Jake Ashby. Oh, good counter right here from Penguins, but ball still in position the overseas old boys. Looking to move it wide. Strong tackle. The refs coming back to an earlier advantage, signalling there was side entry from that counter ruck I complimented. Was clearly not quite from the right angle.
Commentator's curse again. The referee mic'd up. Maybe he doesn't agree with you. He's listening to our commentary, but really good opportunity now here for the old boys. Work their way upfield. They haven't expended too much energy, have they? Cleared their lines nicely twice. Win the penalty, and now they're in the corner.
Good precise kick into the corner from Matt McKenna. Sees them with feet to the line out, 5 or 6 metres out from the Penguins goal line. Okay, they're going to drive. They look to be setting for more. The risk here is that you don't get position back from the maul. And Penguins defending that very, very well. So a little easier to control a rolling maul from a line-out drive with 8 forwards in the patch rather than 5 back.
Yeah, it certainly is. Really good defence there from the Penguins. Mauls are pretty tough to stop once they're nicely set, but work their way through the maul. Ended up collapsing it legally. Get the turnover. Quite the energy of the last game, was it?
Yeah, no, it's, they're still sounding each other out. 5.5 minutes of the half, we've had a series of substitutions. Just waiting for Yefet Luamanu to make his way over the scrum. That may have been top speed.
Easy saying that here, isn't it, when he's that far away?
Yeah, that's right, Tim. I tell him when you said it anyway, Andy. Okay. All cleared. All down the field by the Penguins. Not a big chase, they're just assembling their defensive line now, not wanting to present an opportunity of broken field play for the old boys. Again, happy to play the territory game overseas old boys, forcing a kick from nearest goal line. It was a lovely kick, but A-Trade overseas old boys regaining position.
Yeah, fantastic clearance kick there, under pressure from the Penguins. You're right. You talk about the old boys and tactically the way they're playing. They're just trying to win this territorial battle, aren't they? And once you get a decent kick in behind, they then clear. You get the line out off the back of it, and you get to launch an attack.
Very interesting to see the changing tactics that are employed between day 1 and day 2. And admittedly, these stronger teams in the cup section here had some weaker opponents, so they could play looser style and open up the field more. As we see, Trade overseas old boys probing down the right touch there. Strong run from the 12, Michael Taloke. Looking to go wide. We've got some serious size, but not much gas out wide here. Have they bombed an opportunity? Oh, unmarked man on the outside. chose to bring out the big step there, Mr. Luamanu. Man outside wouldn't have been too happy with that. But again, Old Boys in position, creating pressure. The referee rules that's general play, so no one was offside there. How long can the Penguins hold out? They've been scrambling for the last couple of minutes, deep in the 22 here. Again going wide. Oh, he's got the big peg out to stop that one going past, but Luamanu's just effectively turned over possession to the Penguins. Tough pass to take though.
Yeah, it certainly was. Really poor pass from
Trent
Brad Tucker it was.
Choosing to reset, kick down the field. As long as some of the kicks we've seen from the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys, and the chase line is fractured. There's good potential for the Overseas Old Boys to attack up the middle here. I'd say the Penguins are looking the tired team of the two here. Again, opportunities on the outside here for the Old Boys. Not able to get the ball to the 3 men in space. Okay, will the pace on the outside work this time? Luamanu unfortunately steps into touch. Minute to go on the clock, and boy, there's some tired men out there. That was a long, prolonged period of play.
Yeah, it certainly was, and the Old Boys have had opportunities, haven't they, getting to the edge. Little 3v2s, little overlaps here and there.
When Luamanu was subbed on, he was subbed on for a scrum. I think he might have had one scrum, and play's been going since then, and he's thankfully taking the spot back on the bench.
I think he's happy to get a breather. A couple of good bursts up the touchline as well.
Got to say, he's been involved in all the play since he's been on, so. Good ball off the top from Penguins. Okay, ball through the back line. What have they got? A little nudge through. Has the bounce of the ball, and we've got the ball cleared deep into the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys area. Tackle affected. Men there, but there's a man bridging over the ball, which may bring penalties in other games. Not in this one, apparently. Obviously, Old Boys have effectively defended that dangerous position. And the ball fed back, cleared to touch, with 0 minutes on the clock, and the referee blows for half-time. Well, we've got an arm wrestle here. 0-0 at half-time. No team having a superiority in any area. It's a game on.
Yeah, fairly even. Obviously 0-0. First time I think we've had 0-0 at half-time in the tournament. It's a game of defence, and you've seen both teams going at each other, but Old Boys have been playing a kicking battle. Penguins think they can break out from their own half, but two really good defensive units going at each other, cancelling each other out. Cracking second half to come though, hopefully.
Yeah, we've seen so many teams use this kicking strategy, and it's interesting that the teams receiving the ball don't appear to have worked as hard on the strategy to counter it, how you bring the ball back, and what's the because there's a lot of ball being just kicked straight back, and credit the ball, if you kick it well on this pitch, will run a long way, and we've seen some very good 70-metre clearances in some situations. Teams targeting spaces in the backfield rather than kicking to the sweeper. They're making advantage of that, and they're forcing the defence to be a long way from their support players in front of them.
Yeah, they are, and obviously by winning that territorial battle, it makes it easier to defend the further up you get the field. So just need to put some phases together, both teams. A little bit of accuracy. There were some overlaps of the Penguins in that first half. Just didn't have the accuracy to capitalise on it.
It seems well-matched teams here, but we're not really seeing anyone with explosive pace that's likely to take off and score on their own. So it's, I think any tries that are scored in this game are going to be hard fought. It's probably not going to be the first supporting player that scores a try. It might be the second, third, even fourth. So it might be the team that digs deepest and gets there in support that wins the contest.
Yeah, a lot of it's about building phases, building pressure on defence. Trying to find the one guy who's flagging a little bit and drops off a tackle.
So you see a smile on the face of the organiser of the Overseas Old Boys team there, Ken Woodward, a long-time stalwart of the Hong Kong Football Club here. son Max playing in the team, so he'd be pleasantly surprised to be holding the Penguins to Raw, and with a great platform for his team to go on through to the semi-finals. Entering overseas Old Boys to kick off and feed the Penguins to the start of the second half. Don't feed the Penguins. Well taken in the air by Antonio Kirikiri. Again, good pressure at the breakdown here from Old Boys. Strong probing run there from Kurt Eklund. Looking, probing. Not sticking with the tactic of kicking early in the piece here. Still controlling the ball though. Kurt Eklund sniping in close and making some gains up the field. He needs his support though. Just getting there in time. Numbers on the outside, but turning back in again. Yeah, again, wanting to come at the defenders in close. Okay, tackle not releasing, referee ruling. Penguins wanting to play at pace. Good composure there by Kiko Nogarito, standing in the tackle, waiting for a supporter. Tell you what, Penguins being forced to commit extra men to clear the ball from the breakdown, which means you've got no one to attack with basically once you've got the ball cleared through them. Good step, opening up a little bit of space. Down the outside, it's Antonio Kirikiri. Controlling the ball, long extended period of play, and unfortunately conceding the penalty just when they got into a good attacking position.
Yeah, it was a nice little hitch kick, get to the outside, create the overlap, but they just seem to lack a little bit of pace, the Penguins. An out-and-out flyer that can finish things off.
Yeah, they need to have the weapon to finish the job. You're right. It's there's no punch there when they need to execute. Okay, so pace comes on for overseas Old Boys. Looking like a bit of size coming on for the Penguins. Going to the bench early the second half, 2 minutes in. Work in the air there by Brad Tucker for the Penguins. Stealing the line out. Oh, and busting through under the post goes Zamadi Samuels to score the try. And in a game like this, you'd have to imagine the 2-point conversion is fairly important. So could be critical with 13 minutes into the game. We've just had our first point score.
Yeah, really good play there from the turnover line out. Got themselves up in the air, won the ball. And then it comes out to the backs, and lovely little switch. Then the offload, and as you said, Zamadi Samuels gets over under the sticks, and very simple conversion. Finally, we've got a score.
Yeah, 7-0, Penguins up over H8 overseas Old Boys. Yeah, it just shows how important it is to contest those lineouts. So Brad Tucker getting up there, one hand to the ball, ahead of his opponent, and Penguins, acting quite urgently. They punched straight off rather than just slowing it down and being steady and building their attack. They took the opportunity. Disorganised defence. They weren't ready. They punched early and they found the weakness.
And that seems to be tradition these days. You score a try, you get to come off.
Yeah, the referee having a long chat there with Lewis Ormond. Lewis Ormond, very experienced player. The short form, a lot of time on the pitch for the New Zealand Sevens team, and good kick there, giving the overseas Old Boys position close to the sideline, and the Penguins able to force the tackle into the touch.
They just start to exert a bit of pressure now, aren't they, the Penguins? More experience in the team.
So we want a bit more magic from Brad Tucker in the line out here. He's giving away 3 or 4 inches to his opponent there, you'd have to say. Oh, very old school. No lifters. Jump 6 inches off the ground, 1 position. Well done, Brad Tucker. Digging it again. Wanting to go wide, too early. Is it the hand on the fringes? Still strong pressure from the overseas Old Boys here, and indeed winning position at the breakdown. Jackler in place early, holding his feet, contesting the ball legally.
Yeah, Brad Tucker wasn't happy then, was he, with the ref, remonstrating with him, giving him his own peace of mind about the decision that was made.
And yeah, good to see a very young referee on the field here, keeping his composure. A lot more years rugby experience in these fields. So he's making his way in the refereeing pathway, and to do that, you need to have confidence. You need to back your own decisions, and good to see that happen.
Yeah, it certainly is. Every breakdown you could contest decision making. The defenders think they win the penalty, the attackers think they should have a penalty, and it's just how you manage it yourself as a referee, and done really well.
In this form of the game, every penalty you contest, you risk the opposition running a quick tap against you and conceding territory. So Penguins back in possession, great work in defence, good scrambling there, and choosing to clear it up the field. The ball runs into the goal area. Happy to force the ball for a 22 dropout.
Yeah, it works for the Penguins, doesn't it? 7-0 up. 3 and a bit minutes to go in this half.
To be honest, you know, if I was the Penguins, I'd be more interested in trying to score the next points to seal the game, because you can't imagine the overseas Old Boys coming back from 2 scores down.
Just the whole risk reward from playing inside your own half. You then get this kick off and play to
Tucker taking a good ball in the air there, but referee ruling the tackler not rolling away, but he could equally have penalised him for attacking the Brad Tucker in the air, because it seemed like there was only one person competing for the ball there.
There
goes to touch. Chooses the more conventional torpedo rather than the banana kick, but again finding a great touch. 7 metres from the A-Trade overseas Old Boys goal line, and very strong attacking position.
Yeah, and this is the reason they play that territory. This is the reason they kick down there, to force errors on the Old Boys. Then you get a better opportunity to attack. And this is perfect for them.
The bonuses when you kick the touch, then you get the chance to look to the line up. The forwards regather their composure and catch their breath. It's the players call and turnover ball at the line out. Overseas Old Boys looking to punch in place. Oh, big show and go there. Ball still retained. And strong pressure, good defence by the Penguins here. And overseas Old Boys being forced to leave their feet to defend that situation, and referee quite rightly awarding a penalty to the Turkish Airlines Penguins.
Yeah, more pressure for the Penguins here. It just adds it up, doesn't it? Time after time, they take the quick tap this time.
Yeah, interesting. Everyone expecting them to go to the sideline, as most teams would in that situation. These Old Boys up to the test though, taking down the strong ball run. Oh, big strength in the tackle there. The referee's got to look upstairs, but it certainly looked like Facundo Garrido had gone across the goal line, consulting with his in-goal touch judge, and he confirms the try has been scored. Facundo Garrido goes over for his 2nd try of the match.
Yeah, great power there. Just kept pumping the legs in contact, didn't he?
With 1 minute left on the clock, you'd have to say that's looking like curtains for the A-Trade overseas Old Boys. Conversion is successful by Trent Renata, and we see 56 seconds on
here's the play here, isn't it? The leg drive in contact. 2 tacklers go a bit high, go up top, then they slide down, but he's got the strength and the ability to get his arm free, get it over. Great finish.
You have to say a bit of confusion in the defence there, because the ideal situation there is for one tackler to go low, the other go high and tie the ball up, but they both went high, giving the strength of Facundo Garrido the opportunity to shrug them off and make his way through the initial tackle. As his Old Boys needing to retain position here, they must be the next team to score. Clock winds down, 10 seconds left on the scoreboard clock, and as we know, that's not necessarily the time that referees watch as the sole judge of the end of the game. Good probing run. Looks like an opportunity here for the overseas A-Trade Old Boys. Oh, and the ball stripped in the tackle there by Kurt Eklund. You see the Penguins try and move the ball in space. And again, the game is ended by the ball being kicked onto the racetrack with no horses on it, thankfully, in Happy Valley here in Hong Kong. And the GFI Penguins run out winners 14-0 over the overseas A-Trade Old Boys. Andy, good contest?
Yeah, really good. Obviously 0-0 at half-time. You want to see tries, but it was two teams going at each other, working really hard defensively, very workmanlike from the Penguins. But they had the class to pull through at the end. 2 late tries. First of all came from a turnover line out, lovely little switch play and an offload, and then some good leg power as well. So deserved victory for Penguins. We'll see them in the semi-final.
Yeah, Andy, and thanks for your company here. That sees the end of the Cup quarterfinals. We'll hand over now to our fellow commentators, John McBruce and Leighton Dooley, and we'll catch you up later in the day. So.